Are you a business owner looking to secure your financial future and create a lasting legacy? I'm Leah Garcia, a financial strategist and insurance professional, and I specialize in guiding businesses with up to 50 employees on how to effectively protect and transfer their wealth. We break down silos with my unique approach, the wall of wealth. Imagine a seamless collaboration among your CPA, tax attorney, estate planner, and insurance expert, each playing their part in perfect harmony, ensuring your financial strategy is not just effective, but a true masterpiece. My passion stems from my own journey, from growing up on food stamps to dreaming of building community centers that empower others. Together, we'll craft a roadmap that not only safeguards your assets, but also nurtures generational wealth for your loved ones. Let's transform your vision into reality. After all, you can't measure the heart of a champion just by looking at them. Join me, and let's make your financial future shine.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to welcome you all to the HELLO Plaza in the Metaverse. We have our amazing special guest, Miss Leah Garcia, joining us for the Freedom Financial Fridays and the Wall of Wealth Deep Dive. And oh my goodness, you guys definitely should come and join us in the HELLO Plaza from your phone, from your laptop, from your iPad. Get rid of that crusty, dusty 2D way of visiting us and go to leahgarcia.io, her amazing biz in a box, and come and join us in the metaverse and be a part of this amazing conversation and really learn, leverage, and be able to use these things to your advantage. And without further ado, Miss Leah Garcia, ma'am, what would you have to add on to this?
I would just say it is a beautiful day for Financial Literacy Friday, and I am so grateful for the HELLO LLC and the Metaverse, where I don't have to get all dressed up and I can be here. And I'm so glad I upgraded my dusty, crusty Zoom and my website and all that good stuff. So I'm excited for this conversation.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, anytime we're talking about financial freedom, it's a great conversation because it's just knowledge. Knowledge is power when we put it to use. And so let's dive right in. Why do you refer to life insurance as the last love letter you will leave for your loved one?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's because I have been in this industry for almost 20 years, and I have seen the impact of delivering a death claim. And nothing obviously will replace your loved one, but it gives that family the opportunity to grieve and to really not have to uproot their entire life. They can stay in the same house. They can keep their kids in the same school, maybe if they're going to private schools or college, and give themselves some time to actually process what's happening. And so going forward without your loved ones is never easy, but if you have to do that and you still have to worry about finances, trying to replace their income, I just feel like leaving those resources, those financial resources, is one of the most loving things that you could do for your family.
Yeah, that's so true. And even that's why we have titled this, the last love letter, because it's so important. And so often we, want to leave the kids with the cars, the houses, the money. But the most valuable thing you can leave them is that life insurance. And I was just having a conversation, with one of our good clients the other day. And they were like, I really don't know who to trust with, life insurance. And I know I need to do this, that, and the other. And, I just don't know. And I said, financial literacy is caught, not taught. Because I know growing up, my father would always say, son, you need to save for a rainy day. Just save, 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 save. But what my father did not install is, hey, I got this life insurance. I'm going to invest in this. I'm going to do that, and really know the rules of the game. And that's something that you do so well, as you share with people the rules of the game, because a lot of people try to play the game, but they don't know the game. And so, trying to help people out with these rules and regulations, can you share with us, what are the different types of life insurance that are out there that people should be aware of?
Yeah, that's a great question. I kind of want to highlight what you kind of alluded to is people don't know who to trust. I would say to really look for somebody that you can connect with, that you feel you have a connection with. And also I will look for somebody that has a access to multiple carriers. If they only represent one carrier, then they're probably going to try to fit you into what they offer. So the different types of life insurance, there's term life insurance, which is temporary. It's the most affordable to have. And but it can also be have living benefits, things that if you were to have a major accident or a major illness like cancer, heart attack, stroke, you can access a portion of the death benefit while you're living, which is one of my favorite benefits. And then there's different types of permanent life insurance, and there's a lot of different names. There's whole life, there's universal life, there's index universal life. And then there's another one that really kind of escapes a lot of people. They're not aware of. It is a final expense. And final expense allows you to have a benefit that will pay up to $50,000 that has more of a forgiving underwriting. So if your health is a little bit more challenged or your resources, your ability to make those payments is a little bit more challenged, then a final expense can be a great option.
That's beautiful. And when we're talking about types of life insurance, what is the best type of life insurance?
I love this question because I get this question all the time. I say the best type of life insurance is a life insurance that you can afford that will be in place when you need it. It doesn't do any good to talk about all this sexy cash value and, alternate loans and, all of those things tax free and all that. But because if it's something that you can't afford long term, then that's probably not the right option for you. So I'd like to really say what the best type of life insurance that you can have is the one that you can own long term and that is in place when you need it the most.
Yeah, that's so key. And more importantly, just learning this information from you and having that conversation, because I'll share, from my experience and my story is that, when we do talk about finances, when we do talk about, talking with somebody else about our finances, we really have that cringy feeling and we don't want people to know about our money situation, how we've blown our money, how we're utilizing our money now, and then be put on this so-called budget, right? And not
Mm.
realizing the benefit that it not only serves you, but for the future. And especially right now, with as high as eggs are right now, everybody should really be looking at how they can restructure. Hey, maybe, look at all these subscriptions from Netflix, from, HBO, to all these things you really don't utilize, and take that money and implement it into your business. Take that money and implement it to life insurance. And, this is something that we share with people. It's not that you don't have the money. It's that you don't have the discipline to be able to structurally place your money in the right places. And I know, we all know, we're not going to, make a big fuss about it, but now's the time more than ever to really have that conversation. And that's the amazing thing about you going and getting with Leah to book a coffee chat, to come to her amazing Tuesday rooms, come to her amazing Wednesday rooms, her Wisdom Wednesdays, come to her Thursday rooms that she has, and get this information. Other than you watching The Bachelor, other than you watching American Idol, come get these nuggets that Miss Leah always shares with us, time and time again. And so, I got a question for you. um, you know what are living benefits? Talk to us about that. Explain that further in detail, because, like you said, you hear so many different, so many different things. Lay the law for us, Miss Leah.
Yeah, there are a lot of different types of living benefits. So some of them that are some of my favorite, but there are many, is something that's called chronic illness. If you are in a major accident, my 19-year-old nephew was in a major accident. He was on a motorcycle and he was hit by a truck. He was hit so hard. The impact was so profound that it threw him 90 feet away from the motorcycle. His boots were still in the motorcycle. So things can happen, right? If you have something like that, a critical illness, he was in the hospital for many, many months, you can access up to 24% of the death benefit. So if you have a $100,000 policy, $1 million policy, you could do the math pretty easy. There's also critical illness. Something like major, like cancer, heart attack, stroke, Lou Gehrig's, Alzheimer's, paralysis, transplant. You can potentially access up to 90% of the death benefit, which is tax-free cash that goes to you. You can use for anything you want. We call this an indemnity style, so that you can use it to keep the food on the table. You can pay your mortgage. I have a lot of clients who are self-employed, small business owners. They can keep their business going. They can pay their employees. It is literally cash that you can use for whatever you need at that time. I even had a client who used it for alternative treatment in the Philippines. So those are some of them. There's also a long-term care rider that you can have. And of course, tax-free benefits, right? Cash value, tax-free cash that is really what we call a tier 1 capital asset, which is the highest asset that you can own. I'd like to work with alternative secured assets. And so cash value life insurance is really one of those alternative assets that a lot of people aren't aware of how they can leverage that, not just for their loved ones, but while they're living.
Absolutely, Miss Leah. I think that's the biggest point about it is not just while the benefits are available for after they're no longer with us, but also to be able to access those while we're living. And to be very frank, up until probably 2018, 2020, I wasn't aware that you could access a living benefit, and so that is the importance of having a conversation like this, because this is not common knowledge. But before we dive in and move a little further, I want to stop and welcome everybody in. We have Miss Lisa here. It's so good to see you, Miss Lisa. I have to say, Miss Lisa is such a wonderful supporter. She has an amazing conversation going on in her rooms, just helping women, and not just women, it's helping everybody understand, what women are going through. But also I know that she is religious about attending our events, and as well as yours, Miss Leah.
Yes, Miss Lisa, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your support. And, she's our menopause mentor. Right?
She
If
is.
you know a woman, or you are a woman, or you love a woman who's could be going through that menopause, which can happen really early in life, you definitely need to connect with Miss Lisa Favec.
Absolutely. We will not dive off into that conversation, but I was blown away to understand, I'm a woman and I didn't know I was going to be going through those things. So Miss Lisa, we appreciate, yeah, exactly. We appreciate you, Miss Lisa, so very much. But, back to these living benefits, because, I wasn't aware of these in life, and this is why it's so important to have these conversations here. But how do you access the cash value in your life insurance? Talk to us about that, because again, this is something most people don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. So there's a few ways to access the cash value in your life insurance. You could literally take out your own money, right? Whatever you've contributed, that's your cost basis. You could actually access that. Or you could borrow against the death benefit. That's called an alternate loan. You do have to have a policy that has the ability for an alternate loan. Not all policies do. And I really like to use it that way. You will pay interest when you're borrowing from the death benefit. But say, for example, you have an opportunity, an investment opportunity, and maybe you're going to buy real estate, maybe you're going to buy Bitcoin, maybe you're going to buy another asset, and you're going to earn 7, 8, 10, 15% return. And if you're going to pay interest, 2 or 3% interest, you're paying yourself back. That's like a no-brainer. And by the way, some policies will also have what's called a wash loan, so that even when you borrow the money, you will pay an interest, but then you get a credit back for a majority of that too. So Those are two most common ways, but there's another way that a lot of people really don't ever talk about. And it's when your policy matures and you get more towards retirement, you can turn that cash value into a like income. That means that you can have another income stream that pays you for the rest of your life, like Social Security, or if you have a pension through your company, right? They pay you for the rest of your life. Well, cash value life insurance can become pension-like income.
Wow. You know, once again, you don't know until you know. And once you find out, now it's for you to be able to say, hey, let me do a little bit more investigation on this and how I can, take benefits of this. And so, as we move forward, if you guys don't know, we are in the amazing Hello Plaza in Metaverse. You guys definitely come and join us by going to Leah's amazing Biz in a Box. More than a website, more than an actual landing page. It is a smart link to all the amazing things that Leah is up to. So go to leahgarcia.io. And as we continue this amazing party, we want to showcase her amazing Hello AI Motion Works about her wall of wealth that we'll come back and share more about it. So here we go.
Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Introducing Leah Garcia's Wall of Wealth, the ultimate one-page financial plan to protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth with confidence. Whether you're a business owner or just starting your financial journey, this step-by-step guide gives you the tools to create a solid foundation for long-term success. Don't wait to transform your money mind shift. Download your free copy today at leahgarcia.io and start building your wall of wealth now.
Awesome. That was an amazing video. So again, guys, go out to leahgarcia.io. You can join us live right now and you can get all those amazing features, as well as check out her amazing Wall of Wealth resource as an additional her toolbox of resources. She's got a lot of things out there on there. So go get curious and go check that out. But Miss Leah, I see that life insurance is only mentioned one time in the Wall of Wealth. Is that the only place where you use life insurance for your clients?
No, I'm so glad you asked that. Life insurance can be used for so many things. It can be used, like we talked about, for living benefits, kind of like a disability program. You can use it for an emergency fund. You can also use it as like a replacement for a 401k or an IRA. You can use these dollars for college for little ones. Also, you can use it for long-term goals. I have clients that are using it to access for investments on their real estate, a second home or initial home. You can also use it, like we talked about, tax-free income. It can create your own pension. You can have a long-term care rider. And if you use an alternate loan, you can use the same money twice. I call it a 2-for-1 special. Your cash value is still growing, and now you access that alternate loan and you can invest in other things. Maybe that crypto, maybe that Bitcoin, maybe that, whatever investment. I heard one of my clients was talking about something Elon Musk is doing, so it gives you a lot of flexibility. And even though it's not mentioned, it really can be leveraged in a lot of different areas. And it's almost in every area in the Wall of Wealth, you could leverage life insurance.
Yeah, it's crazy that, now we're in 2025 and you're mentioning crypto, you're mentioning, Bitcoin, you're mentioning, these things that would have been taboo just a year ago, just 2 years ago. And now here we are, making this financial shift as we at the Hello LLC have continued to share with you guys this fintech, this crypto, these utility coins is really on the verge for everybody to take advantage, and we're about to make that financial shift. And that's one thing when we first met, Leah, is that you talked about how this financial and this money is about to shift to this younger generation, and there's so many different ways that you can do that. And you, as an older generation, middle generation, this is still things that you need to learn about now and not put your head in the sand, because this shift is happening. And now, these are going to be conversations that people do need to know a little bit more about Bitcoin, do need to know the difference between a meme coin and a utility coin, and that crypto is not all the, the scary stuff that people talk about, especially when you have this actual, administration that is full-fledged, especially today. There's a meeting going on right now about there's about to be crypto reserves and all these amazing things that's about to be implemented into our system that people can take full advantage of. But if you wait till it's too late, then we all know the drill on that. And so, with that being said, Miss Leah, why do a lot of these gurus not like to use cash value for life insurance? Or, I know you've talked about this. A lot of people give financial advice and really don't have the license or, the knowledge to be given this information, and things just get lost in the sauce. What would you have to share, towards that?
Yeah, and let me just preface this by saying never take generic guru advice as your own personal recommendations. This is not a DIY project. It requires you to sit down with a professional. And in my humble opinion, a lot of these financial, I'm going to call them, they're more financial entertainers. You see them on TV, you see them online, they write books, they've got podcasts, and they have no credentials. And a lot of them don't like cash value life insurance because they don't understand it. They truly don't understand the living benefits. They don't understand about having the long-term care coverage. They don't understand that it could be tax-free. They don't understand you can create this a pension. Because I heard recently Susie Orman said, you know what, you need to have $5 million in order to retire. Who in the heck? I mean, I have some, don't get me wrong, I got some clients in that category, but the majority of people can never see their way to $5 million. And the reason she says that is because she doesn't understand how to leverage life insurance for long-term care and for the living benefits and different things like that. So, and I don't want to leave her out. I mean, I'm naming her, I'm calling her out individually, but there's a lot of names that I could put in there. Okay. You came here for the real conversation. This isn't the puppy dogs and pony dog conversation here.
I love it. We're not here with candy corn and popcorn. We're here for the 2x4 between the eyeballs. And you're right. There's when you said that, there's a few other people that popped in my head too that are quote unquote within the financial or state they're within the financial industry that kind of make those broad strokes. And it just really doesn't help us as a community, because every situation's different, right? Everybody's snapshot is different. Everybody's want is different. And so it really is imperative that people sit down with professionals like yourself so they can understand the true snapshot of what they're looking at, and understand truly customized results that can be, tailored to what they're working towards, right? And not this blanket color by numbers kind of approach. So if someone
Can I add on to that?
Oh yeah.
And even more so, Ms. Leah, we have to deal with the same, and everybody has to deal with the same thing of people talking out of line or making statements that aren't absolutely true, especially when we talk about the metaverse. Only 16% of people truly know what the metaverse is. And we have, heard other people that have come up with these other 2D applications selling that it's metaverse or telling people that it's something that is not. And, it really taints the overall aspect of, what we do and how we do it. So we all can agree with that then this is where integrity, this is where, being honest and truthful, which is far and in between these days, but really holding yourself to giving people the right advice. Because me and Tara just experienced this the other day. I saw something online and I was like, oh my God, Tara, look what happened. And she's like, are you sure? Did you go do some research on that, David? And I looked at her and I was like, ooh, dang, she got me. And I went to go look a little bit more and it wasn't true. And just that little piece of information, right? I go and share it with somebody else. They go and share it with somebody else. And we all know how that goes. And so really, truly, even with us, go and fact check us, go and do your own research. but just don't
Right.
take people for word of mouth. And this is where trust, and this is where building your brand, and this is where testimonies come into play, that when you do share and when you do have these events, you have that, to back you up.
Man, that is so, so fire. That's why we have to speak out and be advocates. You got to be advocates of the metaverse. And that's why I'm an advocate for financial literacy. And I really made a commitment to myself that in 2025, I was going to be more direct, because so many people have this imposter thing and they're saying things that are inaccurate and they're hurting a lot of people. I mean, it's one thing if they're just saying it and, people are just kind of listening, but people are taking this advice just like people are taking word that they know what the metaverse is. I just met someone yesterday and she told me that she was creating her own metaverse. I was like, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Willis? So I'll be referring her over to you too, also to get that education on the metaverse.
Yeah, it really does take the conversation that we're having like today, that David and I have multitude of times every week, that brings that awareness, and that awareness then allows people to make choices, and choices that are going to be knowledgeable and helpful for what they're doing. So if someone wanted to use the wall of wealth, how do they use it for their own financial plan?
I would say my intention was for people to be able to use this and identify their own blind spots in their finances. They could literally download this and look and see, okay, well, maybe they don't, for example, they don't have debt. So that's not an issue for them, but they do have some long-term goals. They don't own anything that's tax-free. So my intention is to bring awareness, because if we're not following the rules of the game, I call them booby traps, right? If we don't have the right things in place, we don't have long-term care, we don't own a living trust, we don't have the right type of life insurance or even any life insurance at all, that's a booby trap. It may not hit you today, may not hit you tomorrow. It may be 10, 20, 30 years from now. I meet clients 20, 30 years and they say, man, I wish I would have met you 20 years ago. I wish I would have known this 30 years ago. I wish I would have bought life insurance when I was young and healthy, because now I'm older and I don't have long-term care. So my intention is this should be something that you could glean, and maybe you don't understand everything on here, but at least you can identify some areas that you need to seek professionals and have a deeper conversation.
Yeah, and after you do go download this wall of wealth in your amazing business box, we encourage people to, book a coffee chat with you and learn more about how it can benefit you individually, and not just take this information and, just have it go in one ear and go out the other and be motivated right now. And then, 2 or 3 weeks later on down the line, it's just forgotten. Well, I don't want to talk about it. Or that trauma, that drama, that pattern, that program, like you talked about, that runs in our mind. Well, I'm too old to, get my life insurance. Oh, I'm not going to qualify for it. Oh, I don't have this money for it. Better to know than not to know, just as always, us assuming gets us in so much trouble. And so, Ms. Leah, people will say, oh, that's cute and adorable. I went and did all this stuff, and got downloaded this wall of wealth. How do you know the wall of wealth concept, really works? Do you have any testimonies? You have, anybody's story you can share with to say, okay, I need to go and download this wall of wealth and book this coffee chat with you?
Yeah, this happens all the time. People come to me with financial issues. Someone passes away. They got themselves into financial trouble, and I can always reverse engineer and identify, and I show them this is the area that we overlooked, right? We finance college for our kids. I have a client right now. She's got over $200,000 in student loans, by the way, that are not hers, for her children, right? Well intending, but now here she is within the retirement red zone, about 5 years from retirement, and now she's looking at all this student debt. That's not wealth. That's not retirement. I have another client that I'm working with right now, and she's actually 78 years old, and she just discovered that she has, well, I'm saying it's a long story, but she has over 40,000 credit card debt that she was unaware of. And what happened there, right? Not having a spending plan, not tracking her expenses. Her husband passed away, and now suddenly she's dealing with the finances, and she's never had to deal with the finances. And a lot of people, they have their retirement in one place, they have their investments in another place, they have their savings in another place, they have their credit card debts and all those things, their mortgages all spread out in all these different places. And there's no real way to reconcile that. I like to teach my families to have a one-page financial strategy, a financial snapshot, so that they can easily access everything. So those are just a couple of more recent stories here in the past week that I was working with.
Wow. Yeah. I couldn't imagine, especially when you said someone's, her dealing with student loan debt and it not being hers. I was like, oh no, did she, fraudulent? And then you're saying, no, it's her children. I'm like, oh,
Right.
yeah, and that's something that we do because we know an education is going to better serve our children. And so, of course, you get to a point where you're like, I'll do what I need to do, but you don't realize kind of this, cutting your nose off to spite your own face. And that's really what happens. And like you said, there's people that wish that they would have known about this stuff even 5 years ago,
Yeah.
and understanding how it's necessary to get the ball started now. And like we have shared in private conversations, start wherever you can. So go out and get a hold of Miss Leah, guys. Book a coffee chat, because you might be on very budget minded. You might be extremely budget oriented because of just the economy these days, and you only have a little bit to be able to put towards your financial planning and your future. That is okay. You can make changes as this goes. You just need to get started. And that's what we share with everything. You need to get started, whether you're, within the financial space and taking care of your financial future. You need to get started in your business and getting things aligned and your systems and your processes set up. This is what we talk about all the time. Push the button, take advantage, get a hold of Miss Leah, book that coffee chat. It's no obligations, by the way. So you could jump in and say, hey, I just need to learn some more information. And then when you are ready to make a move, you can be, right back into pocket with Miss Leah to be able to do those things. So, hand this mic over to Mr. Jones and allow him to add on as we get ready to wrap up this conversation.
Yeah, and those of you that are joining us in the metaverse and watching this, you literally can see Miss Leah's amazing biz in a box that you can go and get all this amazing information. It is more than a basic, crusty, dusty website. It is literally a smart link into all of her actual information where you can go and follow her on all of her social media, right? You guys definitely make sure you just don't follow her on Instagram, or should I say LinkedIn. Go follow her on Facebook. Go follow her YouTube channel. Go follow her on X, right? You can get her email, all of her information. Check out her amazing wall of wealth information. This right here is where you can go and download the free actual version of it. You literally click this button and boom, you get a downloaded version and it goes to your email. And then this is where you can come and book a coffee chat as well. And so this is an amazing toolbox if you want some additional financial tools. Leah has all of these on here, from debt snowball, custom financial review, no cost group coverage, right? Empowering benefits, her millionaire group, and quickly crush debt, reduce interest. And so definitely this is full of great information that you guys can get a hold of. And then, if you want to go further in detail, go book a wealth strategy. I can assure you it's going to be longer than an hour. She's going to take care of you, not cut you off and say, nope, we're done. So she's going to be able to definitely give you all the information. And guess what? If you want a little bit more in detail, go and get her credit course, where this is definitely an impactful course where it talks about your credit scores. It talks about all those things. And then, if you want to get a little bit further in detail, book her custom solution package as well, where you get 2 1-hour meetings, initial financial planning, document review, consultation, CPA, and money mindset and credit course as well. And so this, my friends, is definitely something you want to come and be a part of, and definitely pay attention to Miss Leah's amazing wealth
Hey there, I'm Leah Garcia. Have you ever wanted a career where you truly make a difference in people's lives? I'm building a team of driven financial and insurance professionals, people who want to help families and businesses protect, distribute, and transfer their wealth with confidence. If you're passionate about guiding others to achieve financial security, then you're exactly who I'm looking for. Join my supportive, growth-oriented environment and unlock your full potential. Ready to take the next step? Visit leahgarcia.io and let's start building your future together.